Welcome in to Texas Carpenter here on YouTube. In today's video, we're going to show you how to transform your closet step by step. Here we're going to start by leveling all of our partitions that are going to be up against the wall. As we do this with these two 24-inch shelves, we're going to have to plumb them as well because partitions will be butting into the side of them. You want all your partitions to be plumb as you divide and lay out your closet. After we get everything marked, we'll take our handy dandy 6.5-inch skill saw and we will cut our level lines. We'll also use our skill saw to cut our scribes that are needed. Here we'll just be using somewhere between a 5 to 10 degree back bevel. As you just run it along the piece, you're just kind of holding it at the plate with a slight back bevel. Next, we'll take these partitions, and after we get the partitions attached to the wall, these ones right here will be glued and secured to the partition behind it. That's one of the main reasons why the wall partitions need to be plumb to begin with in the first place. Next, we'll get started with our cleats. This is for the shoe shelf area. Here in Texas, at least, we usually go 16 inches, then 14 inches off the ground, followed by 10 inches up to 84. The reason for this is most people have boots and kind of a couple pair of higher winter boots, and then followed by just regular shoes at the 10-inch spacing. With the nosing at the end of this video, that gives you about 8.5 inches in the clear. So here we'll just work our back wall cleats up to our top level line that's drawn on the wall. Then we'll take our small level, we'll carry off the back cleats along the depth of the partition, and we'll start attaching our cleats that are beveled back at a 45 degree angle in the front, just to kind of help it make it disappear. In our opinion, it's a little bit cleaner look than doing a dog ear. Right here, we're going to get started with our wall cleats, and this will be for the double rod, double shelf areas. So we have a rod at 42 inches off the ground and a rod at 84 inches off the ground. This is a Hers master closet, so it is 42/84, and his master closet we usually do 44/88. You'll just keep doing this process until, as you can see here, all the wall cleats and all the legs or the partitions are installed. This is one of the main reasons why I like to level off the wall for our partitions, is just because along the entire length of this closet, section to section, you are perfectly level, and it's just a super clean finished look versus some people like to just mark it and square cut it. But if the wall's slightly out of plumb, then you run into an issue where it could look like it's diving down at you at the top shelf and or running away from you. These are the cleats that we put in for the closet rod pucks. The reason for that is because this is MDF material, and we like to just be able to attach the closet rod pucks that are fastened using screws directly into wood rather than the MDF. The bottom shelf, which is at 42 inches in these closets, will be 12-inch, and the reason for that is so the rod actually sticks past the shelf, and that way it makes it super easy and accessible to drop hangers onto the rod rather than having to reach up under to be able to drop your hanger. Here we're going to continue with the shoe shelf now. After you get everything cut, what you're making sure is that everything planes out to the face of the partitions along the length of the shelf as well. So after we get the first top piece attached, we're going to use our Festool domino to create a nice little joint here and just be able to carry our shelf the entire length of this closet. You always want to use glue, and you're going to brad nail it. You're going to nail the front face of these partitions and make sure they're square to the wall and square to facing you. And after we do the right side, we'll do the left side, and here you're left with a continuous nice top run of shelving at 84 inches. We're going to get started here attaching the nosing, which is 1x2 clear pine that we put a little 16th inch eased edge roundover route on, and we'll start with the middle section. We'll work in this shorter section, and then we'll do this top right section. Once again, you're just going to use ample amounts of glue. Now we'll get started on the shoe shelf. And as you work this up here, you're just going to be gluing it, nailing it. You're going to make sure it flushes out with the leg nosing that we put on here to the left side, and you want it to flush out to the top of the shelf. Once it's painted, if it's flushed out, just gives a super clean line. Also, at the end of this video, we'll sand it all, but if you're doing it DIY style and you're installing your closet and you're going to be painting it, the closer you can have everything to minimize your amount of prep work, just the happier you'll be and the better the end product will look. So as we continue doing this nosing, we did the shoe shelf first. That way we could attach this leg, but you always want to do your 12-inch bottom rod shelves first, because it does have a double-sided notch. So being able to slide those in before we put the nosing on the partition leg that's dropping down makes it a whole lot easier than trying to tip it in at an angle and potentially breaking that last little piece off on your nosing, just if you're cutting it a hair tight or a hair strong. So it's a pretty repetitive process. I mean, as you continue this nosing, you're just trying to work your way out of this closet, make sure everything is planing out, and you have good spacing and good reveals on everything. Where we can, we always try and avoid putting a seam. So that's why the nosing is a little bit wider than the partition leg. It has an overhang about 5/16 of an inch to the left and right behind it. And the reason for that is the seams, whether or not you have it perfect to begin with, anytime you have a seam and house goes through climate change and everything like that, different times of the year, it's just potential for it to crack. So adding an overhang, no one will ever be the wiser. It's a clean look and no potential for ever seeing any damage down the road. Here we'll sand everything up, and this is your finished product. You end up with a super clean, super nice product that is ready for paint at this point. Like I said, make sure you get everything as good as you can. Plumb, level, square is our saying. And you have everything planed out. We do all the prep work ourselves, minus filling nail holes and stuff like that. But we leave the painter a superior product to begin with. They're not going to have to set any nails or do any of that. And as you can see here, one of the key factors that I spoke about is just having everything plane out. Having it be on the same plane, not having to sand the crap out of something to get it to look halfway right. But whenever you do that, the second paint touches it, it's just going to look that much worse. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to smash that like and subscribe button, and stay tuned for future video drops.